Hello, everyone, and welcome to the All Four Downs podcast. I'm your host, Ovi1, and it is Conference Championship Week. And I tell you, college football, man, it is down to the wire. Yes, down to the wire. I say Conference Championship because we're going to find out at the end of this week who are the top two teams from every conference that's going to go on to the conference championship. And this is like the elimination here, right? Because, first of all, if you're a conference champion, you are automatically in to the college football playoffs. And I say again, you got to be the top five conferences, but we already know the Big Ten, the SEC, the Big 12, the ACC, and I guess the committee is all in on the American Conference, not so much for the Sun Belt. Or will they change their mind? Let's take a recap on first down as to see what happened this past weekend. My picks, I went 6 for 6, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. Woo! 6-0, baby. Haha. I told you. Oregon over USC. Pittsburgh upsets Georgia Tech. And man, what a start. Starting at 28 to nothing. And yeah, a little bit of me was like, uh-oh, this is going to be another story, a big comeback, but it never happened. No, no, no. But Pittsburgh did win, giving Georgia Tech their second loss, and Pittsburgh still in the driving seat to try to make it to the ACC championship. Tennessee did manhandle Florida. Oklahoma eliminated Missouri. And I tell you this, I did not have Missouri in my top 25. I'm just going to let you know on that part. UConn comes back with less than 2 minutes of the game down and scored a winning touchdown. UConn over Florida Atlantic. Big ups. They got their ninth win. It's a big deal. It's a big deal here in the state of Connecticut. And BYU defeats Cincinnati. It's all good, baby. 6-0. I'm happy. But there are other news that's happened. Tulane defeated Temple 37-13. Don't know how much weight that will consist of. Um, Illinois is losing to Wisconsin. Illinois is another team that I did not have in the top 25. I'm not surprised that Illinois fell to Wisconsin. TCU upsets Houston. Pittsburgh, well, I've just talked about them already. I've added them again. Defeated Georgia Tech. It's a big deal for Pittsburgh. And it's a shame for Georgia Tech because in the last 3 weeks, we're seeing a decline on Georgia Tech. I mean, you can look at the expression of the head coach last week on his post conference. He wasn't too thrilled. And yet here we are. Bad start. Middle of the game, got hot, but they were unable to slow down Pittsburgh. And James Madison defeated Washington State 24-20. Was that good enough for James Madison to get up front of the American Conference? We'll move on to second down. And this is last week's 12-team college football bracket. And Georgia, Ohio State, Texas A&M, Indiana. I don't think that the top four would change, but I wanna differ something here. I want to make a claim that I believe that Georgia should move up to number 3. I know it's a long stretch, but I'm just saying. I know that Georgia still needs help to get into the SEC championship, but if you do that for Miami, why not do it for Georgia? Looking at Miami, not in the ACC championship, but man, well, a lot of things has to happen for Miami to get there, though. All right. And then well, let's see about the rest because the rest of these teams really had either had a bye week or they really had an off week going against schools that are not very competitive. So here are my third down. Here is my top 12. And I go in order. My top four really is Ohio State, number 1, number 2, Indiana. I have number 3, Georgia. and number 4 Texas A&M. 8 flip-flop, should Texas A&M defeat Texas this Saturday? But I got a feeling that is a game that I will say to the Aggies, you better watch out because they got dethroned last year. And will it be the same this year? Okay. My number 5 team is Oregon. Oregon defeating USC deserves to be on top at number 5 ahead of Texas Tech, which I have Texas Tech at number 6. Notre Dame at number 7, number 8 BYU. Congratulations to them. This shouldn't even be a debate. This shouldn't even be outside the top 10. They are the top 10 team. You got to put that respect into it, especially them defeating Cincinnati. Number 9, Ole Miss. I got to give it to them. I know they're there. I know it's a long shot. Why they're like 5 or 6 type team. I get it. But look, they lost to Georgia. That's the only loss. But they've been winning. I get it. But you got to give props to the other schools. Number 10, Miami. Okay, I finally got Miami in there. I really do. And number 11, originally I had 11, Utah, and number 12, Michigan. But those are the 2 teams outside now because I have at number 11, which I am predicting that Virginia will be the ACC champion. And of course, Virginia is the top leading team in the conference as of right now. And then I have Tulane 9-2 on top of the American Athletic Conference, which could possibly be Tulane versus Navy for the championship. There's a lot at stake here. This could be debatable. But it was not debatable. It was the top 4 because regardless where they rank, they still got a bye week. And it doesn't really matter. If you take a look at last year, every bye week team lost. So I'm under the impression that if you play in round 1, you got a better advantage to a team that has a bye week. And the fact that there's a lot of time off. So I don't even understand how it's considered a bye week when you got so many weeks off before you start the playoffs. Just saying. I think the schedule should be built differently or be created differently, make some adjustments to fill the bye week. Yep. Again, that was last week's. Okay. Tulane on top of the American Conference now, on top of Navy, but there's still plenty of football left. I say plenty, but in actuality, there's only one more weekend, and there's a lot to go through, a lot to process. So, what's going to happen this Tuesday? Well, I'll tell you what, the list is going to come out, and of course, whoever's remaining in the top 12 is going to be a process of elimination. We already know that anybody from 13 on down are not in the playoffs, and is a process of eliminating, right? And then only 2 bonus teams are going to go in, and those are the 2 conference champions. And the way the season goes, it's not really guaranteed if the team that is favored to win the conference is going to win. It's just like that. So it's crazy, and I can't wait to the results of Tuesday. But I know for a fact that it's going to be pretty interesting. The losers are pretty much out, and I'll just be surprised as any team moving up to the top 10 other than what I just stated. So big ups to BYU, big ups to Miami right now. And if you want to know the 2 hottest teams, I'm going to say it right now. I'm liking SMU. I'm sticking with Georgia, of course. But yeah, I think those 2 are the top teams. What are your take? Who is your hottest team moving on up? Who's on the hot streak? Who's going to make a big difference in the college football rankings and possible a big surprise in the playoffs? Let your comments below. Thank you for listening to All 4 Downs podcast. I'm loving some football, baby. I really do. See you on Tuesday.